Hey everyone! In this explainer, we're going to build up your English vocabulary with 10 absolutely essential verbs for movement. I mean, think about it. Getting from one place to another is something we talk about all the time. It's a core skill. So let's just jump right in and get you moving with these words. It seems like a simple question, doesn't it? How do we talk about moving from point A to point B? Well, in English, there are actually a ton of specific verbs for this. And the real key isn't just knowing a word. It's about picking the perfect word for the right situation. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to master 10 core verbs that will make your English sound so much more natural and precise. You ready? All right, let's dive in. Okay, first up, let's start with the most basic kind of movement, the actions we do with our own bodies. Honestly, you probably do these things every single day without even giving it a second thought. All right, our first verb is walk. You know this one. It just means moving at a regular pace on your feet. In Farsi, that's rah raftan. So you could say, I like to walk in the park, or let's walk to the office instead of driving. Super simple, super effective, and you'll hear it all the time. Okay, now let's pick up the pace a bit with run. This is when you're moving faster than a walk, right? That moment when both feet are actually off the ground. The Farsi for this is davidan. You might hear something like, the children run and play in the yard, or I run every morning for exercise. And what about moving in the water? Well, for that, we have swim. It's how you move your body through water with your arms and legs. In Farsi, that's shinakardan. For instance, let's swim in the lake. And of course, it's not just for people. Fish can swim very fast. All right, time for our next section. These next verbs are all about direction. Are you moving towards something or away from it? Trust me, the verb you pick here makes a huge difference. Okay, here's a big one, go. It's one of the most common verbs in all of English, and it means to travel away from the speaker. The Farsi for this is raftan. So really pay attention to the direction here. If I say, I need to go to the store, it means I'm leaving to go there. If I say, let's go home now, it means we're leaving from where we are right now. And what's the opposite of go? It's come. This means you're traveling towards the speaker or towards a specific place. In Farsi, that's amadan. So if I say to you, can you come here for a moment? I'm asking you to move towards me. And in the sentence, he will come to the party later, the movement is towards the party. So let's just break that down one more time because it's super important. Go is for moving away, come is for moving towards. Seriously, getting this difference right is a massive step forward. It all comes down to your perspective. Okay, so what happens when you finally get to the end of your journey? Well, you arrive. This verb means you've reached your destination. In Farsi, it's residan. So you might ask someone, what time will you arrive? Or you could say, the train arrived on time. See, it marks the end of the trip. And what about the very beginning of that journey? For that, you leave. This just means to go away from a place. The Farsi is tark kardan. For example, you could say he had to leave early. And here's a really practical one you'll see at airports. Don't leave your bag unattended. So, you see the pattern here, right? It's a really simple relationship. Arrive is for getting to your destination, and leave is for departing from your location. They're perfect opposites, marking the bookends of a journey. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to talk about the journey itself, especially when we're talking about longer distances. These next verbs are all about the method of travel. You know, how do we actually get from point A to point B? First up, we have drive. This is what you do when you're controlling a vehicle like a car or a bus. In Farsi, it's ronandagi kardan. For instance, he drives to work every day. Or, looking forward to the weekend, we will drive to the beach this weekend. Next, let's take to the skies with the verb fly. This means to move through the air, either with wings like a bird or inside an aircraft. The Farsi for this is parval skardan. A great example from nature is birds fly south for the winter. And a really common dream people have, I want to fly in an airplane someday. And finally, we have our most general verb for journeys, travel. This just means to make a journey, and usually we're talking about a pretty long one. In Farsi, it's safar kardan. Now, this verb is awesome because it doesn't really care how you're moving. You could say, I love to travel to new countries. Or you might ask, how long does it take to travel from here to Paris? It covers everything. And just like that, you've covered all 10 verbs. Great job! So let's do a really quick review just to help lock them into your memory.
Why don't we read them out loud together one last time? It really helps. Ready? Walk, run, swim, go, come, arrive, leave, drive, fly, and travel. There you have it. 10 powerful verbs for describing movement.
All right, so here's my final challenge for you. Look, learning new words is great, but it only really sticks when you use them. So my question is, which of these verbs are you going to use in a sentence today? Give it a shot. It's honestly the best way to make this new vocabulary your own. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.